couldn't talk peace with me. They tried, and I was like, nigga, this schoolyard.
It's your boy Crypto Blood, and I want to introduce you guys to a new exchange, BitYard. They do cryptocurrency contracts. If you're like me, an active trader, you're probably sick of the market manipulations, forced liquidations, accurate Bitcoin reference rates over at BitYard with K-line weighted averages, no VPN hassle, available for U.S. citizens, and fully regulated in Singapore, Australia, Estonia, and the U.S. Profit losses are all in USD as well, and no fees with U.S. withdrawals. And most importantly, you can do deposits with fiat, unlike BitMEX. You can't do that, right? So check out bityard.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It's been a couple days. It is July 17th, 2020. And shout out to my man Spoon Power 23, a longtime subscriber. He had this song request from 6 months ago. Outkast, Get Up and Get Out. I love this song. Thanks for the song request, man. Hope everyone's doing well today. Again, welcome to another episode. Today we are going to be looking at something PlanB said. He's doubling down on his $288,000 price target for Bitcoin, and I'll get into the details on why he's doubling down on that. Listen, I don't see it anytime soon, but who knows? Anything can happen. We all know that. So it's better to be there to catch the wave than to be out the market and miss that wave. We know how fast Bitcoin and the crypto markets can take off. So I'd rather have some exposure to it, unlike Peter Schiff. Also, we're going to look at the launch date for Ethereum 2.0 Testnet to be announced Monday. So they're making an announcement for an announcement. Okay, whatever. I'm just getting you guys the news. You take it and do with it what you may. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the hidden messages found in the transactions of the Twitter hack Bitcoin address. This is a big situation. I didn't even cover it this week because I haven't done any My Two Satoshi videos. But, you know, there was an op-ed done, I think, from CoinDesk that talked about this very situation and how really this particular person felt like this Twitter hack was not a good PR move or look for Bitcoin, simply because normal people are going to look at this and see and associate Bitcoin with crime. I kind of see where he's going with that, although a lot of people got on crypto Twitter and defended Bitcoin and cryptos and really spun it around saying that this is why we need decentralized platforms rather than the centralized Twitter platforms or social media platforms, period. But you guys let me know in the comments below. We're going to take a look at this Twitter hack and what messages were embedded in there. All three articles on today's episode of My Two Satoshis. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I guess we could talk about the heat map today. Not much activity actually over the last couple of days. Bitcoin, crypto markets have been flatlined, but we got Bitcoin up 0.6% right now to $9,155. Ethereum is up 0.25% to $232. Binance up pretty heavily today, 2%. And we got Atom, that's Cosmos, up today pretty big, 7% today. I've got some Atom tokens. It's been on a rip, actually. Just a random buy I did maybe about a month ago. So I'm very, very happy with that token. XLM is up 13% today, and Litecoin trading at $41.94, up almost 0.5%. And as it pertains to the technicals with Bitcoin, I ain't got nothing to tell you, to be honest with you. Still flat line. Let me see if I can pick out some horizontal lines here, some support and resistance lines, and maybe we can go from there. So at this point, I'm seeing something maybe around here and maybe around here. So those green lines seems to be an area, and this red line. So we're kind of trading between levels here, support and resistance levels. The pivot line would probably be where we are, the green line right here. So this will be the pivot line, and then you have R1 here, R2 here, and then on the bottom side, S1 here, and S2 down here somewhere, the blue line. So that's kind of where we are. Not much price action right now. The markets are pretty lifeless, and so the longer it goes, the more violent the breakout is going to be, whichever way it goes. But let's take a look at the hidden messages found in the transactions to the Twitter hack Bitcoin address. It says that a user has hidden messages and transactions to the Bitcoin wallet associated to the Twitter hack, Some of the largest and most influential Twitter accounts in the world were hacked a couple of days ago to promote fake Bitcoin giveaways, but eagle-eyed Reddit users have spotted a series of hidden messages and transactions sent to the Bitcoin wallet at the center of the scam. We have prominent accounts targeted like Joe Biden, Elon Musk, George Wallace, Bill Gates, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Wiz Khalifa, Warren Buffett, Mike Bloomberg, Barack Obama, and Jeff Bezos. The accounts were hacked with a message promising that if users sent Bitcoin to a particular address, they will get 2-for-1 return. According to the blockchain data, a user sent 0.0005 of a Bitcoin, roughly half a dollar, in 7 different transactions to the Bitcoin wallet associated with the Twitter hack. The yet to be identified sender spent 0.0012 Bitcoins in transaction fees. That's $11. And it has the following message: just read all. Transaction outputs as text. You take risks when you use Bitcoin for your Twitter game. Bitcoin is traceable. Why not Monero? As of this writing, scammers have conned Twitter users out of about 12 Bitcoin, or roughly 118,000. It's unclear whether the message was targeting those responsible for the hack or for those who fell for the Bitcoin giveaway. Why not Monero? So one Reddit user said, "I doubt anyone that has Monero would fall for this scam, but a lot of gullible people have Bitcoin, no disrespect." He said, "I'm sure the intention was always to eventually swap for Monero. Questions will be directed at whichever exchange this happens with. I'm sure it is good press for Monero. I don't know, but it does advertise high level of privacy and security." And so in addition to that, Decrypt Media did an article about 5 things that we have learned or could have learned from this Twitter hack. First one being that Twitter has serious new security questions to address. Absolutely. I'm just shocked that it was this easy for them to target. So they were able to pick and choose which users they wanted to hack because they were selective about which accounts were hacked. So that lets me know the security hole is wide open, and it just this should be an embarrassment for Twitter without a doubt. I don't know what's going on. The second thing is that people are now more savvy to social media scams, because to be honest with you, 118,000 actually wasn't that much money when you think about the number of followers that were broadcasted this scam. Those were some influential people, right? Thirdly, they say Bitcoin can't shake its scam reputation. This is very true, and I just talked about that. This is something that I think in this case was a PR nightmare, not nightmare, but a PR issue or blemish for Bitcoin. Whether we believe it really had anything to do with Bitcoin or not, it doesn't matter. Our perception is what the masses, what do the majority of people perceive this to mean for Bitcoin and how it's wrapped into this whole Twitter scam. And unfortunately, the majority of the people think that Bitcoin aided in this scam's success. And fourthly, Decrypt Media says that Bitcoin is still the hackers' cryptocurrency of choice. Yes, indeed it is. Not Monero, but Bitcoin is the most liquid, and maybe they'll try to move over to other anonymous coins from Bitcoin. And lastly, it says an industry standard is needed. They say the cryptocurrency industry is facing questions just as serious as those preoccupying Twitter. Some would like more clarity about best ways of dealing with situations like these in the future. What really needs to happen is the fact that YouTube needs to get rid of all these scam live giveaways that are all over their platform. They can take a person like DaVinci J15 down and give him strikes, but consistently allow these giveaways to occur. I don't understand. Are they letting it happen on purpose? Possibly. I don't know. But there definitely needs to be an industry standard that's created here to help mitigate against these types of scams. And it, I forgot to mention, it didn't say this in the other article, but even Andreas Antonopoulos, his Twitter account was hacked as well. So crazy situation. 2020 has been wild, I tell you that. And let's take a look at this announcement for an announcement. Launch date for Ethereum's 2.0 testnet will be made Monday. So Ethereum 2.0 developers have stated there's almost nothing left to do before launching the Ethereum 2.0 full testnet, a key milestone and the final stage prior to the live launch of the Genesis block. Danny Ryan, Ethereum 2.0 coordinator, publicly said he has been having some conversations with client teams, and he says there is a little bit of stability work going on, and other than that, and he expects to make an announcement date on Monday or Tuesday. Work on Ethereum 2.0 proof of stake stage has been going on for more than 2 years now, with single client testnets running since last year. The testnet that is to be launched in potentially days, not weeks, is meant to be the live environment, but with fake ETH instead of valuable coins. It's what all have been waiting for, and its launch will be a clear signal that Ethereum 2.0 won't be in 2030, but this November. So now we're looking at this November, huh? Okay. Like I said, I think once the testnet gets live and going, I'll give a new update on when I think Ethereum 2.0 will launch. I don't even think the testnet is going to launch Monday. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe later this week or the following week, but you have to have this testnet run for quite some time. November seems a little aggressive. We'll see. But I had this conversation with Hash Oshi about, if no other blockchain seizes the moment from a marketing standpoint, because we already know EOS is top dog. They have the most transactions. They've had the most operations by orders of magnitude for a year, almost 2 years now. But what I mean is, if no other blockchain seizes the moment from a PR perspective, which I don't see it happening, because this whole ecosystem is kind of protecting the Ethereum ecosystem from media outlets and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of vested interest in Ethereum to succeed, and that's why you haven't seen, in my opinion, a lot of the other better blockchains really grow and take market share. But ultimately, Ethereum 2.0 will have to prove themselves in performance long term. So if they can do well long term and not have any glitches and hiccups, then they'll be fine. But if they have some hiccups, some real disruptions, you're going to see other chains start to really move up. I'm still going to hedge my bets. 32 ETH, at least to have one node. So when the main net goes live, I can at least be a node provider. So we'll see what happens. But just wanted to give you guys an announcement of an announcement, it looks like. Lastly, let's take a look at what PlanB is saying. He's doubling down on his $288,000 Bitcoin price prediction, comparing it to other stores of wealth. So it looks like the prominent market analyst and writer under the alias PlanB created the stock to flow model for Bitcoin and is now again tweeting that his previous forecast of $282,000 Bitcoin, and has offered new data to back his view. PlanB has various safe haven assets on his stock to flow chart: gold, silver, diamonds, real estate, and Bitcoin. He reminded followers of the Bitcoin S2F formula for Bitcoin and confirmed that this previous Bitcoin price target remains as it was, and that's $288,000 per Bitcoin. The analyst promised to provide a detailed article with explanation and sources later on, but basically he says this target is unchanged. He's going to publish the article, and I'll make sure I try to tweet that out when he does that. But he basically says that gold, Bitcoin, and real estate are on a tear. When responding to a comment from a Twitter user, PlanB stated that all of those assets, gold, silver, diamonds, real estate, and Bitcoin, compete as a store of value. PlanB shared that now that markets are experiencing a continuous financial crisis, investors are seeking reliable safe haven assets from among those mentioned above. According to PlanB, some investors are selling their gold and real estate to get some Bitcoin. I don't know how true that is. He says they all compete as stores of wealth. Some sell gold to buy Bitcoin. I know others that sold real estate to buy Bitcoin, and vice versa. Of course, not much other places to go with your money currently. Negative yielding bonds and super high PE, low dividend equity. And the article goes on to talk about Robert Kiyosaki, who I've had on my show. If you missed that interview, make sure you check it out. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description below. But he says that he's been buying Bitcoin, gold, and silver, as these three have become his favorite assets of late. Kiyosaki calls them affordable and reliable stores of value. Bitcoin and silver are very affordable, he says, since Bitcoin can be bought in fractions and silver can be purchased in dollar coins. So there you have it. Again, I'm just blindly going with the whole notion of I'm going to have skin in the game. I'm not going to miss the next wave up. I was looking at a long-term chart of Bitcoin, and I'm seeing a flag created, and at some point it's going to have to make a decision. I think in the next 4 months, to be honest with you, 4 to 5 months, it will make a decision either up or down. I personally think up. And so the only thing that gives me some reservation, guys, is the fact that Bitcoin is highly correlated with equities right now. I think equities are going to take a hard turn down at some point in the next few months leading up to the election. But that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to continue its correlation with stocks. I think at some point that correlation will break and we'll start to see a negative correlation with equities. And when that happens, boy, it's going to be violent. Let me tell you, it's going to be violent. So we'll have to see what happens. I've got skin in the game, and I'm just willing to take that risk on my portfolio, taking a slight dive down. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But hey, that's pretty much it for today. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I want to give a shout out again to my man Spoon Power 23 for the song request. Outcast, get up and get out. And if you found this video informative, again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here, people. Holla!